Food is more than just fuel. It's comfort, culture, and connection. But for millions, it's also an addiction, an invisible struggle hidden in plain sight. Why do we crave foods that harm us? Why do we struggle to stop, even when we know the consequences? It's time to break the silence, to expose the truth behind food addiction and discover the path to freedom. The science behind food addiction. The human brain is wired for survival, but modern food hijacks our instincts. Sugary, salty, and fatty foods activate the brain's reward system, flooding it with dopamine, the same chemical triggered by drugs and alcohol. With every bite, the brain reinforces the behavior, and over time, cravings turn into compulsions. Food addiction isn't just about willpower, it's about brain chemistry. The hidden signs of food addiction. Heavy checkmark loss of control, eating past fullness, even when you don't want to, /heavy cravings and obsession, thinking about food constantly, planning the next indulgence. /heavy emotional eating, using food to cope with stress, sadness, or boredom. /heavy guilt and shame, regretting what you eat but repeating the cycle. /heavy tolerance and escalation, needing more food to get the same satisfaction. It's not just a bad habit, it's a cycle that traps millions. How food companies keep you hooked. The food industry knows exactly what they're doing. Ultra-processed foods are engineered for addiction, designed to override natural hunger signals and make you crave more. From misleading labels to targeted marketing, corporations profit from addiction while the world pays the price in obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. It's not a lack of self-control, it's a system designed to make you fail. The consequences of food addiction. Heavy checkmark physical health, weight gain, inflammation, diabetes, and heart disease. /heavy mental health, anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem. /heavy financial costs, spending excessively on junk food and takeout. /heavy social isolation, avoiding events due to body image or food obsession. Food addiction steals more than just health, it takes away freedom. The history of food addiction. The struggle with food addiction isn't new, it's centuries old. But what has changed is how food is made, marketed, and consumed. From ancient civilizations relying on natural foods to the rise of industrialized food production, our relationship with eating has shifted dramatically. Fast food, artificial sweeteners, and preservatives have altered our biology, making us more dependent on unhealthy choices than ever before. Understanding this history helps us see how deeply embedded food addiction has become in modern society. How environment shapes food addiction. Heavy checkmark cultural norms. Some societies normalize overeating, making it harder to recognize addiction. /heavy advertising influence. Billions are spent promoting unhealthy foods while nutritious options are overshadowed. /heavy family upbringing. Childhood eating habits often dictate lifelong cravings. /heavy stress and convenience. Fast food is designed for a fast-paced world, making it an easy escape. Your environment plays a major role in shaping your eating habits, but awareness is the first step to change. How to break free from food addiction. Heavy checkmark identify triggers stress, loneliness, boredom. Recognize what drives the cravings. /heavy eliminate trigger foods, cut out processed junk and replace it with whole foods. /heavy practice mindful eating, slow down, savor. Listen to hunger cues. /heavy find healthy coping mechanisms. Replace emotional eating with exercise, meditation, or hobbies. /heavy seek support. Therapy, nutritionists, and support groups can provide guidance. The power to change isn't in the next diet. It's in understanding why you eat the way you do. Success stories. Real people who overcame food addiction. Millions have broken free from food addiction. Here are some of their stories. Heavy checkmark case study 1. From binge eating to balanced living. A woman who struggled with late-night binges found freedom through therapy and structured eating habits. /heavy case study 2. Breaking the sugar cycle. A man addicted to soda and sweets reversed his cravings by gradually reducing sugar intake. /heavy case study 3. Healing through nutrition. Someone who turned to whole foods and meal prepping to regain control. These are proof that no matter how deep the struggle, change is possible. The future, food as fuel, not addiction. Breaking free from food addiction isn't about restriction, it's about reclaiming control. Choosing foods that nourish instead of destroy. Learning to eat with intention instead of impulse. Because food should give life, not take it away.